Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Priyanka Porwal, and today I'm going to explain you what is an annotated bibliography and what are the different ways to write annotated bibliography. Now, if you are a grad student or if you are students who are planning to go to a grad school, you are a high schooler, then you might have heard that it is important for you at this stage to write a research project or to work on a research project. Before working on your research project, you might have been asked from your supervisors to write about an annotated bibliography on the topic of your interest. So, what exactly? Because they just say to write annotated bibliography, but no one explains you what exactly is an annotated bibliography and what are the different ways to write annotated bibliography. Here, I will tell you the different ways which I am explaining you today is not being given anywhere. This is what is from my understanding. You will not get it anywhere. So, please concentrate on what are different types and how you can write it, and if there's any doubt or any questions, you can directly contact me through my LinkedIn profile. Now, let's get started with what is annotated bibliography. So, what is an annotated bibliography? As the word suggests, the annotated bibliography is the list of citation or list of the books or the documents which are of your interest of your topic or interest of your research, and how this researches or how this topic are engaging to you. So here, always remember, an annotated bibliography is very small description of the research of your own words. It may be in a paragraph, it may be in the form of summary, it may be in the form of explanation. So this all things accumulate together, like just writing 5 to 6 sentences in your own words are the is the annotated bibliography. It gives your supervisor or your teacher an explanation of why and how your research is of importance and why you want to perform this research. So, annotated bibliography, main purpose of annotated bibliography is to inform your reader about the relevance, accuracy, and the quality of the work or the citation you are going to provide in your research, and how is it going to help you to understand. However, as I told you earlier also, you know what is annotated bibliography, but no one explains how to go ahead with it and what are different types. Because see, when I was doing my masters, both of my supervisors, they wanted me to do an annotated bibliography on the research of my interest. However, at that time I was completely clueless on what is annotated bibliography, and I started working on it. But when I presented my work in front of my supervisors, they were not happy with that work. They wanted something different. So when it came to something different, I started reading, I started taking notes, and from those notes, I made 4 different ways of how you can present your annotated or how you can write your annotated bibliography. And I really wish that this 4 different ways of writing annotated bibliography and explanation of mine in the for how to perform an annotated bibliography will help you as a high schooler or grad students to write your own annotated bibliography and present it in front of your supervisor. So now going ahead, as I explained you, annotated bibliography is a summary of the work you are reading. So this summary is in you can find in the abstract also. So what is the difference in between the abstract and the annotated bibliography? So here is what is the difference. So abstract is the summary which is being provided by the researcher for his own article, while the annotated bibliography is your description in your own word about the particular research of your own interest. For example, if I say I have written a research on oral health disparities among the nations. Now, the abstract which I will provide at the end of my review article will be the summary of the work I have done. Whereas if someone asks me to write an annotated bibliography on a similar topic, what I will do is I will read the articles and I will write my own ideas or my own ways to critically analyze that article. So this type of explanation is known as annotated bibliography. Now there are different ways of writing annotated bibliography, which I will tell you now. So what are the different style as what I made? One is rapid annotation, second is formulative annotation, third is argumentative annotation, and fourth is explanatory annotation. Within the further slides, I will explain you what is the rapid annotation, where is it important, and what are the example of it. And similarly, I will be following the other annotation writing styles as well. So going ahead, what is rapid annotation? So rapid annotation is a quick form of annotation. It is just a quick description of any article or the chapter or the document which helps you to identify what is the research gap. Now this is just for your understanding. You don't need to go deep when you do a rapid annotation. You just need to explain what is the research gap and just the importance, highlighting the importance of particular research and how is it going to be helpful in your work. So it's going to be like 4 or 5 words. For example, here I have given you an example of oral healthcare inequalities in America. So the article of my interest, which I have cited in APSL. Now here there are two styles, main two styles. One is MLA, and the second is APA. So what the style which you have to follow, you have to always ask your supervisor that what style of annotation, what style of citation has to be used in your annotation. So here I have used APA style citation, and in following slides I'll be using the same citation because this is a standard citation used for all the journals or all the from all the universities. Mainly for all the universities, APA style has been used. So here in this style, first you have to write the authors, name of the authors, then the year of publication, then after that the article and the journal, and the page number, then volume and the page numbers, then you have to write. So here annotated bibliography, what I have written is from the article and it's my understanding. So what is here is that the 2000 Surgeon Journal report on oral health in America revealed the disparity and equality of oral diseases burden and healthcare access in United States. It stated that around 60% of adult above 65 years or older has some periodontal disease or have a periodontal problem. Now, to access that, the comprehensive care is the biggest challenge in this age group, if you can say. So, and furthermore, I have stated that how the percentage of American have increased, but see here, what I have cited is the age group that only younger people, children, particularly younger than 18 years have the access or are regular visitor for dental care in America. However, the older population is not getting that much of attention or have not have that much of interest in going and checking oral health care. It may be because of the cost, the cost they have, the commuting cost or the time they require to go and do check the oral health care. So why this study is important? Because I wanted to check what are the oral health inequalities. Now here what I am finding is the older adults have the inequality in accessing oral health care as compared to the younger ones. So this is what is my summary. It's a rapid or the quick annotation which I have done, and I have summarized it in my own words. Now the second is the formulative annotation. Now what is the formulative annotation? This type of annotation is important for the PhD scholars and master student to identify the research gap in different areas of the article. Now when I say different area of the article, this means that the research gap can be seen in your introduction, which mainly is see, or either it can be seen in your methodological findings, it can be seen in your results, it can be seen in the discussion or conclusion. So here in formulative annotation, we have to formulate or we have to write like an article where the first sentence will be the main argument, where that means why, what, and when. Why was this research conducted? What was the importance, and when was it? Then the second sentence will be your methodological argument. For example, how? How was this research being identified, or how was this research being conducted? Have it followed all the protocols which are being important for the research? This type of methodological arguments you have to give here. Then in your third sentence you have to write about the gap, like what is present and what is missing, and how how your research or the research which you are planning can connect the dots. And while the fourth sentence is going to be your own criticism, you have to criticize or critically analyze the research, stating its main strength and weaknesses. And the final sentence will reveal what is the relevance of particular article or particular research paper with the research of your interest. So here it is like formulating in a proper research form. However, again I am saying that it's going to be in sentence. You don't need to write it like abstract in an abstract format. You have to write it in your own summary. While the first sentence is going to be your main argument, second sentence is going to be the methodological findings, the third sentence is the inclusion and exclusion criteria and how is it going to connect the dots. The fourth sentence is your own critic, how you are going to critically analyze and what is your critical analysis towards this research. And then finally you have to write the relevance. So if I talk about the research area of my interest, that I have want to understand the current trends of 3D printed removable partial denture in prosthetic dentistry, and the article of my interest again I have cited in APA style, and then how I have written this argumentative, the example here I have written that how author argues and inquires about the accuracy and acceptance of 3D printed RPDs, and what he has done, like he has implemented these studies, peer reviewed studies that has been published, and how they have supported the use of 3D printed RPDs over the conventional. To support his argument, what he did is he has done a scoping review where he have included the 35 peer-reviewed experimental studies and explained how the studies have checked the accuracy of this 3D printed article. While and even on top of that, this author have checked the perception of clinicians and patients over the 3D printed RPDs and the conventional RPDs. What this article is lacking is that there are different techniques also available for RPD, fabrication of RPDs, but he has not compared those. He has just compared the traditional ways. Maybe the result could have been different. So, what my work want to understand is the different RPD printing technology or different RPD fabrication technologies and their acceptance and accuracy in clinical. So this article is important because they have talked about 3D printed and conventional. However, I need more articles which who are talking about the importance of fabricating methods, the latest technologies, and how they are helpful in fabricating 3D printed RPDs. So this type of example like this here, I'm explaining why is it important for me and how is it important for me. Now going ahead is the argumentative. Now this is a very important annotation style of the style of annotation. Why is this important? Because this is a strong claim. Now, in the further two, you were understanding, you were giving the understanding of why the research is important, and you just need to write. But here, you have to give an argument. You have to show your reader that you know the importance of particular research, and you will make a strong claim on with the support of evidence. You will support it with the evidence and will give a valuable judgment of this. You will provide a valuable judgment that why this research is important and how this research is important for your work. Now, the uniqueness of this argumentative annotation is that you understand why it is important and how is it going to demonstrate or help you in your research. So this type of annotation is again important for your PhD thesis or for your PhD research work, or for your grad research work. But as I told you, when you are in your high school, if you are studying in high school, rapid annotation is something which is of prime importance to you. Here you don't need to go for argumentative or formulative. However, they are important because they explain your readers or explain your supervisors that you have in-depth knowledge about the research you are going to present in your thesis. Now here I want to check the focus. I want to focus on the governmental policies on oral health care for children. Now the article of my interest is being published in 2021, and again it is an APA style of writing. So here I have written an example for how this argumentative the example. So here I have written that how they have succeeded in their work, what they have mentioned, how authors have demonstrated that the different countries, what policies they have, and what they are writing about, and how the countries are implementing these policies. In this argumentative, I can even note the page number. So when I am reading this article, and if I have to write it in my thesis, I can go back to the page number. I can check, okay, this has been written, because when you read articles, your brain freezes. So here in this annotation, when you cite a page number, you know that this article, this point has been written in this page, on this page, and I can go and cite this point, or I can go and write this point directly in my annotated bibliography. So this type of things you can do here in argumentative. Again, I'm telling you that the quick and formulative are a very fast. It just helps you to your reader to that you understand. However, here in argumentative, your reader knows, or you yourself know, why this research is important and how is it going to help. And the argumentative bibliography again helps you to formulate or to write your research and to understand the methodology which you are going to take with the strong evidence. It has a strong evidence and argument in your own words. So this is why this is the example of argumentative bibliography. Then the final is the explanatory bibliography. What is explanatory bibliography? It is the same like rapid annotation. Rapid annotation and explanatory are same. However, in rapid you just need to write 5-6 sentences and summarize the work of the author. While in rapid you have to write the analysis for their methodological analysis, their analysis of their results, and then what they have given in their discussion and conclusion. So here you have to write everything about the article, and you have to summarize it more than 5 to 6 words, like writing it in 10 sentences, so that you will give a deep explanation and deep understanding of particular research. Again, I'm saying that the first two were important for high schooler or the grad student, but this two next two, that is the argumentative and explanatory, are important for the masters or the PhD students to focus on. So this is the difference in between, or these are the different styles of writing annotated bibliographies. I hope this have made you understand what are the different types. However, I'm telling you that this is what I have made through my explanation, to my understanding. This has not been given anywhere. And then now, what is the process of writing? I have explained to you the different styles of writing annotated bibliography. Now here I'm going to explain you what is the process of writing annotated or creating an annotated bibliography. So how you create an annotated bibliography is, first you see what is important in your research. What is important, you have to concise, you have to take help of your supervisors. You have to first go understand the topic, you have to take help, and then you have to concise, you have to select the article through the library search, you have to see the book, you have to read the documents. Even here you have to check the latest article. Don't go and read the articles which are beyond, which are published before 1990s, because now those, because of the advent of new technologies in all the field, those articles are not of that important. But however, I will not say that you should not take it, but the your main importance should be the articles which are being published in last 20 years, because it gives you the current trend of what is going on, the current trend what is going on. Before that you will find the articles, but they will not be of that prime importance. Then first you go, you check the books, you check the articles, you take periodical notes of all the articles. Then you examine, you read the articles, see how it's important for your particular topic of interest, and then you can cite and document everything properly, either in your Google Notes, or on your Word document, wherever you pay, or in your EndNotes, so that you can have everything on place before you start writing your actual annotated bibliography. Then what should you consider before starting your annotated bibliography on specific authors? Like, for example, I'm saying I am interested in oral health inequalities over the world. So the authors which I'm taking, or the study which I'm taking, is it that study important? Is that study, the authors in that study, have they have credentials, or where this study comes from, where this study has been published, what were the citations given to the studies, is this study like from last 20 years, or it has been outdated, what is the source of information of this study, is this a peer reviewed article, is it published in a book, is it published in a newspaper or magazine, and if it is published in newspaper or magazine, what type of audience are reading this, and how is it going to help me in formulating my own research question and my own research work. So is the information covering the exact fact which I want to talk about, or the opinion of or is it just an opinion of the experts? So I have to go and check everything. Then if the research is well designed, if it is an article, if it is a research, experimental research or topic, is it well designed, well formulated, is it following all the protocols which should be followed by the research? For example, if it is a case report, is it following the care guideline? If it is a cross sectional study, or if it is a case control study, is it following the strobe checklist? If it is a systematic review, or if it is a scoping review, is it following prisma guidelines? So those type of guidelines, are they following, are they extensively covering the topic of your interest? Is this study primary research? For example, I told cross sectional observational studies, randomized control trials, are those primary or secondary studies? For example, a review article, systematic review or scoping review, what type of article? Is a book reviewed in index, if it is published in index journal, or if it is published in a local journal? So this all things we have to formulate, these questions we have to ask ourselves before writing our annotated bibliography. Again, I told you that there are two different styles. One is MLA style, which is Medical Language Association, and American Psychological Association, APA style. APA style has been used by almost all the universities. So before writing your annotated bibliography, you should ask your supervisor what type of style they want you to cite your annotated or your articles of your interest while writing your annotated bibliography. So this is the sum up of the complete annotated bibliography and different writing styles, and I would be more than happy if you have any questions. You can ask me and get me connected with my LinkedIn. I will be more than happy to help you. Thank you so much. I hope you have your doubts and your understanding over annotated bibliography has been clarified, and I'll be more than happy to help. Thank you so much.